shepherd, okay? Sounds better. It's more noble. Let me set my timer here. I have a tendency to go overboard here. So I tell you what, I think my favorite part of the day so far, not to boost your ego, which I do a lot, is the rainbow quote. I love that. I'm going to steal that. We're in the rainbow, right? There is no end of the rainbow. There's no lucky charms at the end of the rainbow. We're in the rainbow. I love that, Mike. So, we'll be talking today about mindset and goal setting. Another good thing Mike said this morning, and I'll promise I'll stop. He said it's my time, right? It's our decision to determine whether it's your time or not. So what I want to have you guys do, because this is what I do, I have you stand up. So push yourself out of your chair. And I want you to tell 3 people. You got to shake their hand. Give them a hug. Give them a bro hug. Whatever you want to do. Tell 3 different people. Say, it's my time. Go. So some of you told 3 people, some of you went to the opposite side of the room and told like 12 people. That's okay. We can't, do I have to just keep touching it, or is it going to keep going on? I'll touch it every time. I will say, since, I don't want it to be quiet here. I will say that, as Jason noted, Mike and Rick do a phenomenal job putting on these events. It takes a ton of work. It takes energy. It takes real physical energy. They do a phenomenal job. They have created a wonderful culture here in the Kansas City area. And Tessa, Jason, and I, we've done events kind of like this back closer to where we're from. And the first time we did it, we realized this is a lot of work. Like, this is like stuff they have to set up. It takes a lot of work. So we're very grateful for those guys. That's really one thing I'm going to talk about while they take forever. Yeah. That's Mike's. I'm not that cool. I have to steal that though.
So the picture of you on his screensaver is really scary.
Picture of me on his?
Yeah.
You should see the picture he keeps in his bathroom of me.
Bad thing you know about it.
Hey, is it working now?
I think you're still.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to assume that based on the people that have heard Tess and Jason's story. Most of you guys have heard my story. I'm not going to take a ton of time on that. Let's see. Where do I start? All those occupations that Mike listed, there was a lot more than those. Those are just the ones I'm proud of. I'm most proud of being a shepherd, not a sheep farmer. The shepherd overlooks the whole ranch. The sheep farmer I was the overseer. So, just kidding, I was actually a sheep farmer. So, I was actually the one who pretty much introduced network marketing to Tessa and Jason. And this really goes into what I'm going to talk about here, but I really want to help you guys think big and, turn your dream machines back on if you shut them off. And we can do that from time to time. I can remember, since I've been this tall, I've wanted to do something big in my life. And I'm pretty sure everyone in here gets what I'm talking about. If you're in here today, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, which is what separates all you guys from the Jeff Olson calls them the cuckoos. Because even when we have big goals, we know maybe insurmountable, there's still that little thing that says, I can do this. And each and every one of you have that. If you lost that, we need to find that again today. I'll just say it. When I was in third grade, I knew for 100%, when I was a third grader, I knew for 100% I was going to play basketball in the NBA. You could not tell me any different. 100% knew it. Turned out, I'm not tall enough. I can't jump high enough. I think I can shoot a lot better than some of the people in the NBA. Like 3 or 4 people I can shoot better than from the free throw line, but I guess it wasn't in the cards for me. But the thing here, guys, is thinking big. I remember specifically, to get a little personal here, in 2009, which was probably the worst year of my life, but it's weird because the worst period of my life actually turned into what set me up for all the good things that happened. So, I remember in 2009, I was struggling. I was in college. That's a whole other story. A lot of stuff going on. Those guys I want to talk about. It's all good. A mentor of mine gave me a book. He didn't give it to me. He didn't give me the book, but he recommended a book for me to read. That book was called The Magic of Thinking Big. That was the first personal development book I've ever read. It completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. If you do nothing else with your Nerium business, if there's people who don't want to jump on board with you, and Tess and Jason I know, and myself, we have friends, and most of our best friends are in this business with us, but we have really, really good friends, like really good friends, that are just never going to join this business. And that's okay, right? That's okay. But if you do nothing else, spread some of this stuff with them. Give your friend the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, or whatever it is. Matter of fact, I think off the top of my head, the chapter of that book, the first 2 chapters are my favorite chapters of that book. Chapter 1, I believe, is Believe You Can Succeed and You Will. Chapter 2 is, what's it called? Excusitis, the failure disease. Something like that. I read those 2 chapters over 100 times. But just thinking big and dreaming. I've been a dreamer my whole life. I think that being a dreamer and never accomplishing anything is better than not being a dreamer and not accomplishing anything. You might as well at least have fun in your head, right? I can remember riding in a tractor with my dad when I was 6 years old for 8 hours at a time, seat that was this wide because we were poor. We didn't have the tractor to have the extra seat. I had to sit on the armrest, and I would stare out the window, and I would dream. Okay? Speaking of dreaming, I just want to share this with you guys. You guys raise your hand if you've heard of Elon Musk. Okay? He's the guy that started PayPal. He started Tesla Motors. He's sending rockets into space. Maybe arguably one of the smartest human beings on the planet. One of them. He's in the top 3. There's a couple in here that are right up there. I want to read this to you, okay? This is Elon Musk's vision and goal for the planet of Mars, okay? This will give you an idea of how big this guy's dreams are. His goal is to send people to Mars and use advanced farming techniques to plant massive vegetation on Mars to create a greenhouse effect, basically that will generate an atmosphere to eventually cause it to rain and to create oceans, etc. Okay? So ask yourself, where does your dream compare to that? Alright? It's probably not that big. And that's okay, but the point is really think about what you want and think about your dreams. And we're going to get into this. That's not to say, because a lot of times we are so focused on, I want to get national marketing director, I want to walk across the stage, I want to get that big check, when, we haven't even hit senior grant partner, okay? So take one thing at a time. And that's really what we're going to talk about here in a little bit, is setting goals. See, there's a difference of dreams and goals. Keep those big dreams, but have those attainable goals that you know you can achieve. Okay, cool. So there's really 3 areas of belief. This is just kind of something I have down. I heard someone talk about this a long time ago, but 3 areas of belief. Number 1 is the product. Do you believe in the products? Okay? Raise your hand if you believe in the products. That's kind of an easy one to believe in, right? I mean, how many thousands of before and after pictures do you have to see before you believe in the products? Now, Tess and Jason and I, we know people that could, they can put Nerium on their face and basically turn into Benjamin Button and become 21 years old overnight, and they're still not going to believe in the products. That's okay. It's okay, not everyone likes you. Alright? We all have those people. Some more than others. Secondly, the opportunity. Do you believe in this opportunity? Do you believe in network marketing? Because some people don't even believe in network marketing. Well, if you just go on the internet, you can find literally tens of thousands of people that have succeeded in network marketing. Right? And Nerium is the Cadillac or the Lexus, Lamborghini, whatever, of network marketing. So when you go to a convention and you see person after person after person holding up their check, telling their story, really showing that they succeeded, that should help you believe in the opportunity. And lastly is your belief in yourself. This one's probably the hardest one, right? Because we know what to do. Tess and Jason just talked for 25 minutes on what to do. Okay? And the cool thing about this is, if you don't believe in yourself first, if you start doing some stuff, you'll gradually build that belief. Because I can remember specifically, for the first 2 years, Tess and Jason and I, we did almost every single party together. And we were all nervous. I just pretended that I wasn't, but I was. It was just, we just did it. And we did it over and over and over. We were very, very consistent. And that's, guys, if you really want to build your belief, just stick to those Team 4 commitments like they talked about. Okay, where's my button? All right. Hit that. Okay, cool. All right, developing a proactive mindset. Your choice of mindset, growth or decline. So my mentor back in the day, one thing he used to say is, you're growing or declining. David Bird talks about this all the time, right? When you pick a flower, when you pull a little dandelion, the second you pull it out of the ground, it's dying. There's no in between. There's no in between. You can't hover in the middle. So if you ever think you're hovering in the middle, you're declining. Being proactive and goal-oriented, mindset of decline is reactive and repetitive. So there's being proactive versus reactive. And a lot of that is planning your day. If I can be 100% honest, my biggest weakness is I struggle to plan my day. Right? I struggle to plan my day. Raise your hand if you have the David Bird planner. Okay, keep your hand raised if it was hard to do in the beginning, or maybe it still is. Okay, pretty much everybody. It's hard to do because your brain is so wired to being reactive. Every time your phone goes off, every time, which in network marketing, we kind of have to live that way to a degree when we got a three-way call and this and that, especially if you're full-time. But that David Bird planner is hard. The first, I always say 6 months, but it's probably longer than that when I got it. When I got it, I was super excited. Started listening to that CD, and I was like, this sucks. It's like listening to this CD 6 times before moving to the next one. Really? But it works. It definitely works. Like I said, there's no between. You're either growing or declining. Mindset comes from your thoughts and feelings. And that's really, Tony's going to speak about this later. And these two sections kind of go hand in hand, but, that personal development, feeding your mind on a daily basis, whether it's books, I know a lot of you guys listen to, audiobooks, YouTube. Guys, we live in phenomenal times. You can go on YouTube, you can listen to speakers all day long to keep your gas tank full. Because if you don't fill your mind with that good stuff, other stuff comes creeping in. Okay? My wife just had a baby, and she's staying at home now. She's been home for, a little over 30 days now. And so she's home. And when I'm home alone and she's working, I don't have the TV on. I just don't. The only thing I watch on TV is NBA basketball, for the most part. So she's home now, and the TV's on. That's weird. I don't like it. So I'm flipping. The daytime television sucks. It's terrible. If you see some of my Facebook posts recently, you'll notice my sarcasm. So what we got? We got The View. After that is a show called The Chew, where they talk about cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
We got there's another one called Girl Chat or something like that. That one's actually a lot better than The View. It's less political. We got your daytime soap operas. You got your news. What I'm trying to make is, for the last few weeks, I'm not just going to say, hey, shut the TV off. There's garbage has just been flooding my brain. So I have to be proactive in basically listening to other stuff. Because I can't listen to Whoopi Goldberg and that other lady talk about stuff any longer. Okay. Okay. Setting goals. Monthly goals. Goals create clarity of thought. The old saying is, you can't hit a target that you can't see, right? If you don't have goals, you're likely going to drift. You're going to find distractions. And there's a lot of distractions out there. I saw a statistic the other day that the average person looks at their Instagram page 37 times a day. And, I'm on Facebook quite a bit because of my business and stuff, but, there's a lot of Facebook is a distraction. And we have to discipline ourselves to
school.
We have to discipline ourselves to say, okay, I'm working now, okay? It's not time to go down a 2-hour YouTube rabbit hole of UFOs and stuff, which I'm guilty of doing. That's late at night when my brain's already turned off. Okay. Tracking our progress, high payoff activities, HPA. What are the high payoff activities? Well, we know what they are. It's the stuff they talked about. It's the parties. It's the 3-way calls. It's the stuff that it's the 2-days. It's the sampling. Those are high payoff activities. There's a girl that's on my team. She's basically quit now, but I used to joke with her, and I would say, "What are you doing right now? Sharpening your pencils?" Because she basically never did any high payoff activities. And I would text her, I go, "Are you still sharpening your pencils?" That's obviously not a high payoff activity. Maybe that was too mean to her. I don't know. Just kidding. Tracking your high payoff activities. And that goes with having a workout partner. Key performance indicators. Number one KPI is Class A prospects, and having 10 of those, it's basically, and we'll read here what those are. If you haven't heard this before, you've been around a while, you probably have. What are the qualifications of a Class A prospect? You have talked to them about the business. They have indicated some interest. They're less than 60 days old on your list. So they're newly interested. It's virtually impossible to not grow your business and recruit if you have 10 Class A prospects. It's virtually impossible. One of the hardest things to do sometimes is taking that person off of that list. Some of us are still hung up on people that told us no 4 years ago. Just cross. If it makes you feel any better, just cross them off the list. Okay? Just cross them off. Quit thinking about them. If you're truly talking to 2 people a day, you shouldn't get hung up on anybody. You should have so many people that you can talk to again. Those high payoff activities eventually lead you to those Class A prospects. Let's see, I'm almost out of time. So what I will do now is, in closing, I just want to offer one more thought here. I watched a video a while back, and it was basically talking about the odds of you being born, the odds of you, just being a human being today. Some studies say the odds of you being born were 1 out of 1 million. Some say it's 1 out of 4 billion. Okay, let's just say it's 1 out of 1 million, right? If you play the lottery, and the odds are 1 out of 1 million, you're not going to win. Yeah, I know someone's going to win, but you're not going to win. Someone else is. Trust me, I know. Actually, I only played the lottery one time. That's when it got up to 4 billion. I said, if it ever gets in the billions, I'll buy a ticket. I didn't win, though. So the odds of you being born, let's just say, are 1 out of 1 million. Basically, how should I say this? If your parents decided to do something else that night, or 10 minutes earlier, you wouldn't be here. Do you think you're here by accident? I don't think you're here by accident. I don't think you're here by accident at all. As a matter of fact, I know you're not. So, with the divine creation, we are here, and I truly believe in the bottom of my heart that it's not meant to just be wasted away. We are here to do something. And Nerium gives us an awesome and amazing opportunity to go out there and do something great. Last question. Say yes or no. You have to say yes or no. Is tomorrow guaranteed? No, it's not. No, it's not. So why are we acting like it is? Right? A lot of us think we're going to do this tomorrow. It's not guaranteed. There's a lot of of people that thought they were going to be here, not here, but on Earth. There's a lot of people that thought they would be alive today, yesterday, and they're not. Because things happen. So, think about those things. And with that, I'm going to introduce you. We have a brand partner personal story. So, Suzanne Hansen, would you come up and share your testimonial?